in the posture of pure awareness, which, as we're discovering and will discover, is the practice of pure awareness. Point one is sitting on some kind of meditation seat. We can sit cross-legged on a cushion, which is where I started and most of us start. We can sit on our knees with a cushion under us or on a bench that lets us put our feet behind us, or we can sit on a meditation bench or a chair. In the course of my years of meditation, I have used all three of them at different times. Often the posture that we use and the seat that we use, we're going to change them as our practice evolves and our own interior somatic awareness develops. So, sitting on your seat, feel into your body right now. And you can begin with your knees and your hips. Your knees need to be slightly below your hip joint in order to provide ease in your back. So that's a very obvious starting point. See if that's the case right now. Keep in mind that we are looking for what's called a straight back, which I'll be talking about and defining shortly, meaning that we're not hunched over, but also we're not pushing our belly out so that we hyperextend our lower back. And the knee versus the hip position, that the hips are slightly above where the knees are, allows us to avoid hyperextending or collapsing forward. So feel through your body and see right now, if you're sitting cross-legged, is this going to be comfortable? Is it comfortable now? Is there undue pressure on your knees? You want to avoid that. One of the things that is incredibly important in the traditions of pure awareness that I teach is that we are looking for complete relaxation in our posture. Relaxation doesn't mean sort of lying back on the couch. That's actually not a relaxed position because the interior of the body is compromised when we're, strangely enough, when we're leaning even against a chair back. So we're talking about sitting in an upright position in such a way that our whole body is at ease. This is not something we're necessarily going to be able to accomplish right in the beginning. So no need to worry if right now you're feeling a certain amount of physical stress. But over time, that's what we're looking for, and the posture needs to make that possible for us. Number two, and the first real step in the practice of pure awareness, coming into our body. So to begin with, let's look at 3 steps in order to come into our body. We may feel we actually know how to come into our body, but the level of presence and awareness and somatic experience we're talking about is likely going to be far beyond anything that we've known in the past. So first, simply feel the obvious sensations of your body, where you're in contact with your meditation seat, your buttocks, your sits bones, the pressure of your clothes, your feet, however they are, in contact with the earth, temperature in the room, the light, And just being present to that for a moment, let's give that a try. Awareness is a living entity, we could say. It's not a static quantity. So as you're sitting and feeling the sensations of your body, important to surrender your awareness into the sensations. See if you can do that. With most physical sensations, we tend to sit back and look at them. What we're talking about here is surrendering our awareness into the sensation of our buttocks on the cushion or on the seat. Surrendering our awareness into the feeling of the temperature in the room. Into the sensation of our clothes on our body. Where do they feel restricted? Where do they feel open? As Blake said, every perception, every sensation is a door that has nothing on the other side that's solid. It's an open, expanding, potential world of experience. And by learning already in this step number 2 to surrender our awareness into our sensations, we're already beginning to touch the boundlessness, really, of our human experience. And then, going a little further, attend to your inner sensations. Can you feel your heart beating? Can you feel the blood coursing through your arteries and veins? Can you feel the warmth of your metabolism? See if you can feel the humming neurological life of your body, muscles contracting and releasing, holding and being free. Notice when you are within your body in this way, it's a big field of experience. Nothing in the body is ever going to match what we think. There's going to be much more to it. And that's probably the most important lesson in the practice of pure awareness. And now I want to show you the third part of coming into our body. I want to show you a practice that we're going to use throughout all 4 of these guided meditations. It's called whole body breathing. If you have read The Awakening Body and listened to the accompanying audio recordings, you'll be familiar with this practice. This is one of the main practices that we do in this lineage. So the way it works is you visualize all the pores in your body. So just do that right now. So this is an enhancement practice. It's not described in the book. It's something that I'm giving you to help you with the coming into our body, step number 2. So we're imagining all the pores of our body, all of the hundreds and thousands of pores, and now imagine that the only way you can breathe is by bringing oxygen in through your pores You're still breathing in a normal way, but you're having a sense of pulling the oxygen in through your pores into your body. You can synchronize this with your normal breathing. So on the in-breath, we're breathing in through all the pores. On the out-breath, we're breathing out the carbon dioxide out through the pores. We know from the Tibetan tradition, and we also know from modern medicine, that in fact the skin does respirate. In Tibet, people in deep retreat actually do breathe primarily through their skin, and there's very little exchange of air through their respiratory system. So right now we're trying that out, breathing in through the pores. And breathing out through the pores. So let's just do that for a couple of minutes here together. If you really focus on the pores and breathing in through them, you can actually feel the enlivening quality of the breath coming in through your skin. See if you can feel that. Feel the interior of your body filling with oxygen on the in-breath as it comes in through the pores. As we do this, notice that there's a very specific somatic experience of the body. The body becomes very peaceful. A sense of openness in the body itself. This one is one you can practice on your own. You can just take step 2 by itself if you want to and practice that for a while. It's a very, very powerful practice, especially when you're agitated or emotionally wrought. Something has triggered you, something has threatened you. This is a very powerful, pacifying practice in the sense that it brings you in touch with a layer of your own experience that is underneath the emotional upheavals and the fear. Then step 3 in our guided practice 1 is grounding in the earth. Now once again, to do this practice, we're going to use the breath as a stepping stone. So I want you to begin breathing in through your perineum. Just the way we have been breathing into the pores of our body, now we're going to breathe in through our perineum. We're going to bring the breath in through the bottom of our pelvic cavity, up through the pelvic floor. And we're looking for the same sensation that we had with the pores. In other words, a real physical feeling of bringing the breath in and a feeling of the freshness of the breath as we breathe in through the perineum. As we breathe in, the muscles in the anal area, the genital area, the muscles around the sits bones, all are going to relax. And we might realize how much we sort of close off the territory below us with tension in those areas. So relaxing, opening, breathing in. And then we're going to extend our awareness down below our perineum. This requires a shift in our usual template of our own awareness. Meaning, we normally think of our awareness largely as just being up in our head. If we're more sophisticated and have more of a connection with our body, we actually realize our awareness is the nature of our body at the deepest level. But we're going further here, and we're saying that actually human awareness has no inherent boundaries or limits. And we are releasing the idea that our awareness ends with our perineum going down, and that actually the awareness extends below us as well, and it's our awareness. So we're opening below the perineum, we're opening our awareness downward. It's as if we are feeling our way into the space underneath the perineum as we breathe in through the perineum. To do this, you have to relax not just your body, but your mind. And all the assumed boundaries and assumed ideas or preconceptions. And see what happens when you release those and you open down and you breathe up from under your body. So let's breathe up from the earth. Let's go down 5 or 10 feet and just extend our awareness, which really means open our awareness, acknowledge our awareness at that depth, and breathe up from there. Give that a try. And then see if you can go deeper, if you can breathe up from a deeper level. And then see if you can go even deeper. And breathe up from the whole space under you, the whole space of the earth under you. So 90% of your attention is on the space under you, and there's only about 10% that's on this physical body sitting on the earth. When we do that and we actually look into the earth, we look into that space, we see that the space of the earth is utterly peaceful. See if you can notice that. Utterly open. This is not the earth as we know it through the lens of geology. This is the earth we experience when we extend our awareness down into it and look for ourselves and see what our own immediate, fresh, naked experience of that space is like. It's open, it's peaceful, and strangely it's reassuring and warm. Sometimes when we do this practice over a period of time, which I would suggest, as in step number 2, I would suggest with this one also that you take time and explore it. When we do that, we often feel like we have finally come home. We have finally found our true place. And strangely enough, coming home and finding our true place has not happened independent of the earth, but rather in communion with the earth. There is a sense, as we develop this practice, that the space in our body, the space of our awareness, and the space of the earth are not separate things at all. They're the same thing. And we discover that our own state of being is inseparable from the state of being of the earth under us. Breathing in that way, we develop a profound sense of confidence. It's not confidence that we can get the best score on a test, or sell the most cars, or write the best book. It's not that kind of conditioned confidence. The confidence that comes from breathing in this way and developing a sense of how deeply we are the earth, at the same time that we are these humans on the surface. That's a confidence in being. It's a confidence that comes at seeing who we are, who we actually are in our fullness. The reason this is a practice so important for the practice of pure awareness is that when we open our mind fully and completely, we're going to see that we experience very many things that we have previously been shutting out. They're our own experience, but we have been unwilling to acknowledge the richness and the fullness and the immeasurable range of our own human life, our own human experience. When we breathe into the earth and we feel that we ourselves are truly deeply rooted in the ultimate, in what is beyond change, then no experience is a problem. In fact, every experience becomes an expression of the sacredness of our own life. Breathing into the earth in this way and grounding in this way enables us to be like a mountain whose roots go down to the center of the earth, and a mountain which is never shaken by any kind of storms or lightning or thunder or rain or snow. When we are grounded in the earth, then and only then can our awareness open to its fullest measure and fullest extent. Step number 4, breathing into the lower belly. So I'm going to teach you this one a little bit more briefly, and we'll be developing it, deepening it, expanding it as we go through our guided meditations. So to begin with, bring your attention into your lower belly. And once again, we're going to be using the breath in order to develop the level of awareness that we're looking for. So find a point midway between your perineum and your navel, along the midline, so drawing a more or less straight line right down the middle of your body, from the nose through the navel to the perineum. And then it's going to be 3 or 4 inches back from the front of the body, maybe 3 inches from the front of the body, this place we're looking for. In the beginning, we're going to visualize a point midway between the perineum and the navel, a little bit back from the front of the body on the midline. It's going to be visualized, imagined. But as we do the practice, over time, we're going to discover there actually is a physical correlate to that point. We're going to discover something real that is not imagination in that place. This is the place, as I mentioned, that is known as the Hara in Zen Buddhism, or the lower Dantian in both Taoism and also Chan Buddhism, which is a deeply, deeply, deeply influenced by Taoism. It's also called the lower Dantian there. So, once again, now bringing the breath not in through the pores and not up through the perineum, but bringing the breath directly into the point in the middle of the lower belly. On the in-breath, feel the breath going into that spot. On the out-breath, just relax. We're not doing anything with the out-breath. All the attention is on the in-breath. So on the in-breath, gentle, normal breathing, but completely focused on the lower belly, breathing in the in-breath and relaxing on the out-breath, but keeping your attention in the lower belly at all times. As you breathe in, try to be more and more present to that point, and see if you can begin to feel a physical sensation of coolness as you breathe in, the coolness of the breath entering that point in the lower belly. In the beginning, you're just imagining the coolness, but very quickly you can actually feel it, because there is breath coming into that point. And then breathing in, continuing to breathe in, letting that point open up into a space. Very gradually, with each in-breath, that point opens, and the breath is filling that space. And it could be, in the beginning, the size of a marble or a ping pong ball or a chicken egg, or it could be slightly larger. So breathing in and seeing what that space feels like as you breathe in. have a feeling of filling that space with the breath, cool, fresh, open. And then have the feeling of surrendering your awareness once again into that sensation, just as we did before. This time we are surrendering our outside viewpoint into the space itself on the in-breath. See if you can do that. So at a certain point, there's no you watching the process. You're simply present within the space. See if you can develop that. If you're feeling any anxiety, any impatience, any fear, any hope, just breathe that into this empty open space and let it dissolve into nothing. Whatever your mental, emotional activity might be, the in-breath, breathing all of it into that space and letting it dissolve and disappear. And as that happens, you dissolve and disappear. Be aware of when you begin to separate from the experience and simply dissolve that tendency to separate into that space as you breathe into the lower belly. As you breathe in and dissolve yourself into the lower belly, see if you can glimpse what the space is like when you do that. Does it seem very pristine when you let everything go? All your judgments, all of your attitudes? Does it seem nourishing and reassuring? Does it make you feel peaceful? Keep breathing and see what you notice. And continue to notice how you try to separate. We want to come back into our thinking mind, but resist the temptation to do it, or if you do it, surrender all of that into the lower belly and the in-breath. This, once again, although it's part of the steps in the posture, the practice of pure awareness, this is a practice you can do on its own. You can do it lying down or sitting up, and it's a very, very, very powerful way to reboot your entire system, sometimes in a very short period of time. Very healing. You're touching the primordial depth of your own human life in this practice. And then we come to step number 5, which is straight back. When we talk about the back, our understanding is going to evolve. In the beginning, we think about it as our spine. In the end, it's something very different, as we will see. In the beginning, in this first guided meditation, let's simply put our attention along our spine. Just feel the spine as it rises from the sacrum up, sacrum, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, the neck, cervical spine up to the head. Just feel that whole sweep of experience all at once without focusing on one point or another. And see how your spine feels. How does your back feel? It might be kind of achiness. Are you achy in your sacrum on one side or the other? Are the muscles on either side of your spine, do they feel the same, or do some feel tight and some feel numb? Does your mid-back feel relaxed, or does it feel tight, constricted? Just check it out. And then coming up to your neck. Does your spine feel straight? Or does it feel crooked or compromised? We're just trying to feel. We're not correcting anything right now. And then I want you to visualize a tube, which is known by all kinds of different names in Hindu yoga, in Tibetan Buddhism, in Chan, in Zen, in Taoism. In Tibetan Buddhism, it's called the central channel. And central means that it's at the very core of our being as humans. It's our core, out of which everything flows. And channel means channel of what? Channel of our own unconditioned state of being, the awakened state. It's a channel of the Buddha nature, or the natural state, or the enlightened state. So we're going to visualize a tube that might be the size of a dime for convenience, that runs from the very bottom of our sacrum our tailbone, just inside the body, in front of the spine, so toward the front of our body, but lying along the spine, and it rises up all the way through our neck, all the way up to the top of our head. So visualize that. And see if you can hold that visualization in your mind. Right now, we don't have very much experiential contact, most of us, with what's going on there. But like the other visualizations that we do in all the somatic practices I teach, and particularly in the practice of pure awareness, that visualization is actually a stepping stone to a real experience, a somatic experience that corresponds to the visualization, and we will, in time, awaken to that experience. So these are the 5 steps in the first guided meditation, and I want to strongly encourage you to work particularly on steps 2 through 5 and develop as much as you can a sense of what the experience is to be within your body in this particular way. How does whole body breathing help you develop a sense of what it means to be within your body, coming into your body, step 2? How does grounding in the earth give you a much larger sense of safety, security, groundedness, a much larger sense actually of who you are and of what your place is? How does breathing into the lower belly help you connect with the primordial source of your own life? And how does the straight back help you tap into the core of everything you are, everything you do? When you have been through these instructions and practiced them and internalized them, then you can move on to guided meditations 2, 3, and 4.